Hey guys, as you can see, I am in your playground. I figured since you guys aren't using it, someone should. And it is a lot harder to get up and through that little square than I was expecting. So I'm impressed that you guys get in there so fast. We are on chapter 34, and we finished by talking about this guy freaking out about New York City because they do not think it is a floating peach. They think it's something very dangerous. And so we are going to continue and read 2 more chapters. Maybe even 3 chapters today. These chapters are getting very small. So, are you comfortable? Are you calm? Are you ready for chapter 34? It says, "Come on, Centipede. Bite through the first string," James ordered. The centipede took one of the silk strings between his teeth and bit through it. And once again, but not with an angry cloud man dangling from the end of the string this time, a single seagull came away from the rest of the flock and went flying out on its own. "Bite another," James ordered. The centipede bit through another string. "Why aren't we sinking?" "We are sinking." "No, we're not." "Don't forget the peach is a lot lighter now than when we started out," James told them. "It's lost an awful lot of juice when all of those hailstones hit it in the night. Cut away 2 more seagulls, Centipede." "Ah, that's better. Here we go. Now we really are sinking." "Yes, this is perfect." "Don't bite any more, Centipede, or we'll sink too fast. Gently does it." Slowly the great peach began losing height, and the buildings and the streets down below began coming closer and closer. "Do you think we'll all get our pictures in the paper when we get down?" the ladybug asked. "My goodness, I've forgotten to polish my boots," the centipede said. How many boots does he have? I don't remember. 84? 72? 64? I'm not very good at remembering numbers. You guys know that, though. "Everyone must help me to polish my boots before we leave." "Oh, for heaven's sake," said the earthworm, "can't you ever stop thinking about—" But he never finished his sentence, for suddenly, whoosh, and they looked up and they saw a huge 4-engine plane come shooting out of a nearby cloud, go whizzing past them, not more than 20 feet over their heads. This was actually the regular early morning passenger plane that went from New York to Chicago, and as it went by, it sliced through every single one of the silken strings. And immediately the seagulls broke away, and the enormous peach, having nothing to hold it up in the air any longer, went tumbling towards the earth like a lump of lead. "Help!" cried the centipede. "Save us!" cried Miss Spider. "We're lost!" cried the ladybug. "This is the end," said the old green grasshopper. "James!" cried the earthworm. "Do something, James! Quickly, do something!" "I can't," said James. "I'm sorry. Goodbye. Shut your eyes, everybody. It won't be long now." And that is the end of that chapter. Now that is the easiest chapter we've ever read to figure out what the problem is. What is the problem? You know, right? They are tumbling to their certain mushing bad end, right? So I'm not going to leave you hanging. I'm going to jump right into chapter number 35, which is the shortest. Look how short this is. It goes from the bottom of this page to only halfway through that page. Let's see if we get a solution. Round and round, upside down, went the peach as it plummeted toward the earth, and they were all clinging desperately to the stem to save themselves from being flung into space. Faster and faster it fell, down and down and down, racing closer and closer to the houses in the streets below, where it surely would smash into a million pieces when it hit. And all the way along Fifth Avenue and Madison Avenue and all along the other streets in the city, people who had not yet reached the underground shelters looked up and saw it coming, and they stopped running and stood there staring in sort of a stupor and what they thought was the biggest bomb in the whole world falling out of the sky onto their heads. How do you think they felt? A few women screamed. Others knelt down on the sidewalks and began praying aloud. Strong men turned to one another and said things like, "I guess this is it, Joe. And goodbye, everybody. Goodbye." And for the next 30 seconds, the whole city held its breath, waiting for the end to come. And that is the end of that chapter. Did we get a solution? I think maybe we need to read on to chapter number 36. "Goodbye, Ladybug," gasped James, clinging to the stem of the falling peach. "Goodbye, Centipede. Goodbye, everybody." There were only a few seconds to go, and it looked as though they were going to fall right in amongst all the tallest buildings. James could see the skyscrapers rushing up to meet them at the most awful speed, and most of them had square, flat tops, but the very tallest of them all had a top that tapered off into a long, sharp point, like an enormous silver needle sticking up into the sky. Do you have a prediction of what might happen? We know they're not going to get mushed to pieces, right? Tell somebody if you're sitting with someone. And it was precisely onto that top of the needle that the peach fell. There was a squelch. The needle went in deep, and suddenly there was a giant peach caught, and oh my gosh, there's a huge wasp right here. Ooh.
Yikes!
Alright, it's gone. Your farm and garden teacher is laughing at me. The needle went in deep, and suddenly there was a giant peach caught and spiked upon the very pinnacle of the Empire State Building. So that was a little ruined by the wasp. The peach was falling onto a building that was shaped like this, and what happened, the peach went. Now your homework is to Google the Empire State Building or a skyline of New York City, and you can see how that worked. And I want you to, in your writing journal, draw a skyline. That means like the buildings, okay, and then draw the Empire State Building, and then draw the peach on top. And then tomorrow or the next day, depending on when you do this, we will look at them in class. All right, guys. I will say goodbye to you from your wonderful playground play structure, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Remember, be kind to your families, and have a good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you.